Hey everybody, welcome back. It's a Friday afternoon and I managed to get a little bit of time here to continue working on my little project. I'm gonna start today. I'm working on the aircraft weapon system, but before I do that, there is one thing that I wanted to do so that when I test, I have a better idea of what's going on, and that is to add a horizon to the HUD, so I can see how much I'm banking when I can't see the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and add another text block here and just call it horizon. Oops. Horizon text block. Horizon text block. And I'm going to go ahead and just run the debugger to launch the editor. I've been doing that more lately because the live coding can cause so many problems that it just a lot of times just doesn't seem worth it. So I've been anytime I edit code lately, I just launch the debugger to launch the editor. So I'll give that a minute to compile and launch. Okay, so it's done and I'm launched in the editor window here. So let's crack open this HUD. Okay, so now that I've added that property, I've got a compile error because I don't have that horizon text block implemented. So I'm just gonna copy this speed one, paste it. Never mind. It didn't paste well. Let's try this one. Okay. I'm going to replace the text. That looks... probably can make it smaller. Okay. Okay, so now we got that, and I'm going to have to modify the code in the class. So the reason I did not do that before is I wanted to take a look at, I believe, let's see what we got. There's a HUD somewhere in here. No. I don't think this is the right one either, but let me look at it. Nope, that's not right. Somewhere here there's a HUD. There we go. Air vehicle cockpit HUD. And if we take a look at this guy, it's got sort of a horizon line here as well. Let's look at the graph, and we can see that it's setting the render transform angle based on the roll of the aircraft. So I need to find this node. I need to find what function that is in C++ real quick. So I'm going to look that up. Okay, looking that up real quick, looks like it's just a function right off of the widget, which I should be able to, so I should be able to call right to this text block. If writer ever catches up, there we go. So let's do this. There we go. And what's our parameters here? It's not popping up. Interesting. It's just angle. Huh. Don't know if that's a real squiggly or if it's just taking a minute for writer to. Well, let me stop the editor. So, okay, the editor is stopped, and if I go ahead and launch it again, theoretically that should be it. We'll see what happens. Okay, so now that I'm launched, let's see what we got here. Oh, I must not have saved the. Yep. Try to get right there in the middle. Okay. I should have turned off the second player. Let me do that. Okay. To update it a little bit more. That's not quite right. Oh no, it's about right. But it needs to update more often. That refresh rate is no good. Okay, so that's working. And you know what, I'll go ahead and what am I doing here? We'll change that to 0.1. I need to make this I need to make like a HUD refresh rate property so that I can set it from the blueprint, but for now I'll just set that to 0.1 and it'll be all good. So weapon system I've been thinking about quite a bit, and the very first thing I need to do is go ahead and create a weapon that I can use. And maybe I should put it under here. Yeah, there we go. And let's see what, I know we've got some models in the vigilante stuff. Let me see if I can find them. Let's see. Not in there. There we go. Let's just take the AIM 120 for now. And let's do this. Up in that weapons folder I just created here, I'm going to do a new blueprint, and I'm going to base it on, I think I have, do I have a, yeah, let's do Aspen projectile, cost BP, AIM 120. And the static mesh. Oh, you know what? I think it's actually skeletal mesh. That's going to be an issue. I'm going to need a separate class if that's skeletal mesh. Let me take a look at these again. Let's see. Yep, skeletal mesh. How about this guy? Skeletal. Mark 82. Static. Okay, let's do the Mark 82 then, just so I can use this, and I'll make a separate skeletal projectile later. Mark 82. There we go. And I'm not going to worry about any of this for now. Right now, what will happen is if when I trigger it, it'll just fall right off. I guess that's what this one's supposed to do anyway. But I'm not going to worry about anything other than attaching it and unattaching it for the moment. So I got my weapon class. You know what I'm going to have to do, actually. I won't worry about it for now, but what I'm going to end up having to do is probably change the projectile to have a static mesh or a skeletal mesh, because I'm going to want to use my base. I'm going to need a single base class when it comes time to attach these to the aircraft. So for now, we've got a weapon. I need a class. And I'm going to create a folder in here called weapons. So it'll just be aircraft weapon classes. And I'm going to create, I don't really want that in the weapons folder. No, let me get rid of that. I think that's a bad idea. I need to create a class that I want to call Aspen Aircraft Hardpoint. And I think I just want to inherit from U object on that. I'm not 100% sure yet, but that feels right. If I need to change it later, I can. So I'm going to go ahead and create that. And what that's going to represent is... Stop it. If it's not going to... If we take a look at that F-16, that's going to represent one of the hard points on the aircraft. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's actually at least one on the belly for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least 9 hard points, probably more than that. But a hard point is something where we can mount something onto the aircraft. So whether they be weapons or something else. So let's take a look at that class, and what I'm going to want is fname hardpoint name. I don't even need that. And we're probably going to have, let's see, fname hardpoint socket. And then we're going to have a T subclass of, and for now we'll use U Aspen projectile. I think that's what this is. Let's take a look. A Aspen projectile. Now this is going to change, I think, because there are going to be more things. Actually, this needs to be an array. So the reality is, at some point there will be more than just weapons that we can attach to hard points. I mean, right away, if you look, there's a fuel tank attached to that hard point. By default, that I'm going to end up having to remove from the mesh. So there's things like fuel tanks, jamming pods, targeting pods, all that stuff. So I'm probably going to end up not using this class at all. I'm probably going to end up with some sort of hardpoint item class, and then a aircraft weapon class that inherits from that, and so on. But for now, just to see if my sort of structure here is going to play out the way I hope, I'm just going ahead and using this class I already have just to get it going. So we have an array of classes that are allowed to be attached to this hardpoint, and I am going to then add to the aircraft well, you know what, let me come in and put my U properties in on this before. Okay, I've got my U properties on there. I'm going to create another class. No. I'm going to edit the aircraft class. We'll come down here. I have this weapons system. Should I use that? I'm not going to use that. Get rid of that. Delete these two. And I'm going to make a U property here. Actually, we'll just make this an array. I don't really need it to be a map. An array of hardpoints. So there we go. That's what I want. Let me kill the editor and make a new debug session and just see what I've got so far. I probably, you know what, let me take a quick look. Get rid of this. Okay. I think that's good. Let me go ahead and build that and see what I got. Oh, what did I do? Oh, right, this should probably be a, this should be a T object pointer. So I took a little break, come back, still got a bad line of code. Should have known better. All right, let's see if that builds. Okay, so let's see what I got here. And I'm certainly not looking to get all the way through this today. I just want to see if this is gonna, like, this structure is gonna work for me. And then what I'll have to do, well, I'll talk about that in a second. Let's see what we got here. My wheel mappings, here's my hard points. So now if I add a hard point, let me look back at what I did here. I already don't remember. It's pretty terrible. Hardpoint name, hardpoint socket. Allowed weapons. You know what, I'm probably gonna have to create, let's see, I'm probably gonna have to create under F16. Let's do this. No, can't make a blueprint from a U object, I'm guessing. This is why I wanted to check this out. Yeah, so I can't do that. If we look here, this is not gonna work because I have an array of I don't even know what this is. These two things don't make sense. Let me come back. Let me think. Let's actually just get rid of this for now. And maybe I don't really like actor here because I mean, no, that's not what I want. U actor component. Let's see. Let's go ahead and restart this. Okay. Now that that's launched, let me see what this might look like. Still not showing up. Why not? Is it because, no? So can I not subclass a actor component? Maybe that's the case. Let's see. Yeah, I guess not. Okay. But actually, now that I think about it, maybe I don't need to. I would have to actually initialize these. What if I just instead doesn't show up there either. this Y. See if live coding hates that or not. Okay, it didn't seem to mind that too much. There we go. So now I can create a hard point. Let's see here what it gives me. There's my 2 things, so we'll call this hard point 1. And if we take a look, let's take a look at the viewport and actually crack open the scalable mesh. And let's see here. So we'll go from the left to the right. So this will be hard point 1 over here on the wingtip. And let's see if there's a socket for it already. It looks like there is probably. Pylon 2, pylon 3, pylon 3. So RT underscore pylon underscore 03. Okay, RT underscore pylon. So far that looks good, but let me see if it will let me do this, because this is really the big question, is whether or not this is going to work. Okay, let's see what this looks like now. Loud weapons. Aim 120, and if I were to add a second, yeah, so this is perfect. That's exactly what I want. Okay. What was this? RT underscore pylon underscore 02, but really what I want here is an already initialized array of some sort. Let me think about this for a second. I want an array of hard points. Okay, let's get rid of this. Save my blueprint. Let's try this one more time now that things are looking a little bit better. Okay. Oh, it's already there. Does not like that. How about Let's give that a shot. Ooh, didn't like something there. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. Okay, now that's done. Let's see what we got. So now, there we go. We have another map. And but they're not, whoops, cannot add a new key to the map while a key with the, well, I can't see the damn, can't see the key to change it. Yeah, I'm guessing it doesn't like the object pointer to the hard point to a child component. You probably just can't do that. It probably has to be an actor. Man, I hate to use actor though, because it's not really an actor. Think about this for a few. Problem is, I don't want to use a actor because I don't need a transform really. I guess I could use the transform and just not have the socket name. That would work. It's a little weird to have a transform, but so I can make this an A actor. Change this. And we can get rid of this. That might work a little bit better. I'll give that a shot, I guess. If this works, I'll be able to really, I won't need this socket name here. Ah, failed. Where's my failure? All right. Whoops, I did not want to do that. My bad. I want a forward declaration. That'll work. Okay. Give that a shot. No, that's not going to work either. I think what I'm going to end up having to do, I didn't really want to do this, but I think I'm going to have to do it the same way I did the lights. So I will have a component. I'll add the components in the blueprint rather than in code, and then I'll just add them straight to here, and then I'll be able to access them by basically getting all components of type Same way I'm controlling these lights from the code, even though I've attached them in the actual blueprint. So in order to pull that off, I'm just going to get rid of this, actually, what I've got so far, because it's not going to make sense here in a minute. And we'll go to aircraft and get rid of that forward declaration and get rid of this. This just did not work out. Save that. Now we're going to create a component. And we'll call it Aspen Aircraft Hardpoint Component. And we'll inherit from actor component. Add that. Get rid of that. Come on. So we have a hardpoint component. We'll give it a name. Well, we don't even need a name. I don't care. Well, I'll go ahead and give it a name. Let me just copy this. Call that allowed attachments. For now, inheriting from projectile, but we know that's going to change. And we will compile that and pray that live coding works for that big of a change. Okay, that's done. So now I should be able to come in here. Maybe this ends up being the smart way to do this anyway. What I'll be able to do is basically this type of thing. Whenever I need to access the hard points, I can just access them this way. Same way I'm doing the lights. Okay. So I guess they'll actually be off the aircraft mesh. Oh great, the old one's still showing up. Hopefully that's correct. I did the one without a. Is that right? 1 second. Yeah, neither one of these have a transform, and I really wanted to go ahead and have a transform, so that's not gonna work. Good grief, I just wanted to see what this inherited from. I didn't realize it was such a deep tree. Light component base. Aha, right. It needs to be a scene component. God, I keep forgetting that. Compile again. Okay. See if this has reset itself now, or if I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to stop the live coding, but you can see at least this has a transform now. So we'll just call this hardpoint 1, and we'll actually put it under the aircraft mesh, I guess makes sense. And we'll move it. There and back. Oops. There we go. Put it right there. And then what I'm going to do is, so allowed attachments, so we'll call this, really, I don't need this name, I should have left it off. I'm going to say aim 120. I don't know why I still have that called aim 120 since it's actually a Mark 82, but whatever, it doesn't matter. And then I think, so that's definitely going to work. Maybe I'll stop there for now. What I'm probably going to end up doing here is another U property, except this one will be right. Yeah, and then what I would do is in the begin play, which I've got here. I don't really need this tick. I'll get rid of this tick. In the begin play, what I'll do is something like I'll actually spawn the actor here of the proper class that, well, no, that's just allowed. I have to think about this one before the next video, but effectively what I'm trying to do is you can imagine eventually, come on, start up. Good grief, that took forever. You could imagine eventually if you chose to spawn in as an F-16, what would then happen is there'd be a whole UI that would pop up where you would choose your weapon loadout, right? So that's the goal. So in order to do that, first I have to have the hard points with the allowed weapons, and then I'm going to actually have to have something that spawns those weapons, and really that's going to be on the aircraft level, not in the actual component itself, now that I think about it. So what'll happen sort of temporarily, so they don't have to build out that whole UI straight up, is I will put something in the aircraft begin play. This doesn't make sense. Actually, it might, but I might have to put it back later. But basically, in the begin play here, I'll loop through the hard points, and I'll just attach, like I'll hard code something in here to attach a weapon to a hard point. So just so I don't have to build out that UI, but that's what it'll end up looking like. I think that's the structure that I want. So I can just come in here in the blueprint and create as many hard points as I want, and set them. Good grief. Sheen is dogging it today. But I can come in and set up all the hard points I want and just, drag them to each spot. And then at runtime, right, for now, I'll loop through all the hard points that are there, and I'll just look for hard point, the one that's named hardpoint 1. So I guess it is a good thing I put that name there. And the one that's named hardpoint 1, I'll spawn a weapon, the AIM 120 weapon. That'll be weird to hard code, but yeah, I'll spawn the AIM 120 and attach it. So I will need that attached weapon thing there. This will actually need to be public. Actually, I don't like that naming. Okay. I don't want that. There we go. Last ASPEN projectile. There we go. So that'll be the way that'll work. So for now, the aircraft itself will spawn the weapons, and it'll call this method to attach them to the aircraft. And then there will be you can imagine, there'll probably be another method here called actually, no, there won't be anything here, I don't think. I think there'll be something on my weapon class. I'm thinking about this actually. I'm thinking that I want to call this a weapon hardpoint and then make a separate one for other things. But I'm not going to worry about that for now. Again, what I really want is to be able to spawn an actor, attach it, and then detach it with a fire button. So I don't need to worry about any of that for now. So I'm always a fan of doing things in steps. So I know I'm going to refactor this later. I'm just going to leave it for now. And in the next video, I'll hard code something in the aircraft to spawn a weapon onto a hard point. So, and then hopefully have time to write the code to drop it as well with a fire button. So anyway, that's all I'm going to do for today because I'm running right at about an hour. And so normally I wouldn't, I tend to not show when I have to work through a problem like that, but maybe it would be helpful to see sort of how I go through there. Somebody who's super familiar with the engine, who uses it every day, would have probably known they couldn't do what I was trying to do, and they would have just gone straight to the way I ended up doing it at the end. But sometimes it's interesting to see a process about how you get where you got. So that's how I got where I got, and I've got a hardpoint component, and it's attached to the aircraft. It's got a transform, so when I spawn, it'll show up there, and that's how I get there. So anyway, till next time, take care. In the next video, like I said, I'll try to attach the actual weapon and drop it, and we'll see how that goes. Thanks. Till then.